Welcome, you're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Tanushree Pandey coming live from ground zero in Turkey where a devastating earthquake hit the country and Syria on Monday early hours. Now, this is a 10-day-old baby. He was born just 2 days before the earthquake. The family which has survived the first earthquake is now facing other problems. There is lack of food and water and other basic necessities on the ground, and the worst sufferers of this unbelievable disaster are the children and women. I am showing you these kids who are sitting here. They have survived the first earthquake, but there are many aftershocks, hundreds of aftershocks and tremors which are being felt in the country, in every hour. And the house they are living in is in a very weak condition. This house can collapse at any point of time, but the family is forced to live here because they cannot take the risk to take these children out because it's extremely cold. The temperature, the weather here is harsh. And this is a 10-day-old baby who has nothing to eat, no baby food, no milk, nothing. The organizations are trying to help, but even the government camps and government assistance has become a major luxury. Not everyone can be accommodated in those camps. It's overflowing with thousands of children who have lost their families, with people who have lost their limbs, their loved ones. And that's why many families are now taking the risk of staying inside their houses, which have become weak, which can collapse at any point of time, but they have no other option, they have no other alternative. And it's not just one family. There are thousands of families, thousands of stories, and years of devastation and human tragedy. We will be getting you many such reports in the next half an hour. Even the government relief camps have become a luxury here in Turkey. Not everyone can be accommodated there because the relief camps are overflowing with survivors who have lost their homes. Thousands of children who have lost their families have been accommodated in those camps at priority, and that's why many families who have lost their homes, their loved ones, they are now setting up their own basic camp, and they're surviving with whatever little they can find. Here is a family, a mother who has, sitting with her kids, and you can see here a little child here is eating the rice his family could arrange for her. They haven't been eating properly for the last 3 to 4 days ever since the earthquake has struck Turkey and Syria. It's the 7th day, and now it has become a race against time even for the rescuers to rescue people alive. All they expect to find now are the dead bodies. But on the ground we are showing you the human cost, the layers of the human tragedy which has now struck this country, where even the relief camps are completely overflowing. They are flooded with survivors, and families have to set up their own camps where there is no food, not enough water. That's why we request you to send in as much help as possible to the people in Syria and Turkey so that they can survive. And it's the weather, the temperature in Turkey is extremely harsh. There is no heating system in here, just very basic blankets as you can see, but that's not suffice. But this is the reality, this is the unfortunate reality on the ground, where a devastating earthquake has struck this country, and now there is not enough food, not enough water, no basic necessities, not even heating equipment, and the families have to survive like this. She's 45-year-old Rule. She's 7 months pregnant, and now she's forced to live in a relief camp set up by the Turkish government with her kids. She has lost many of her family members, even in home, in the earthquake which struck Turkey and Syria on the early hours of Monday. Now you can see the scars of the earthquake, the injury marks on the kids' faces even now. And this woman is 7 months pregnant. You can understand her state, but right now she is living in this small camp which has been set up by the Turkish government, where there are, where even the basic necessities are not here. Just the heating equipment to heat up water and very basic food and fruits which have been given to them by humanitarian organizations. And the kind of, the magnitude of the tragedy which has hit Turkey, in this kind of a situation, many countries have come forward to extend their help, to extend their aid, but it's not suffice to counter a tragedy of this magnitude. These are the camps, these are the 85 camps which have been set up by the Turkish government, and she's not the only one. There are more than 20 women who are pregnant but are now forced to live here in these camps. There are thousands of children who have lost their families, their homes. There are senior citizens who have, who are suffering from many ailments, many diseases, but they are right now, there is no scope for them to go to any hospitals, as hospitals are already overflowing with more critical patients who are now being rescued from under the debris after 6 days of the earthquake. Today is the 7th day, and we have been reporting on the ground how the layers of devastation and human tragedy is unbelievable. It's absolutely unprecedented. There are many countries who have come forward to help, India being one of the first ones. We have showed you from the Indian Army hospital set up in Hatay how the surgeons and the doctors are working around the clock to save as many lives, but the rescuers are saying that it's now has become a race against time. And see these little, this is another woman who is pregnant, and see these little kids. These kids used to have families, and at one point of time these kids used to have their houses, roof over their head, but now they're all forced to live in these camps which have been set up by the Turkish government here in southeastern part of Turkey. I will be getting you more such heartbreaking reports of people who have survived the tragedy but have lost absolutely everything, their families, their homes, everything. It's the 7th day since a devastating earthquake hit Turkey and Syria. Thousands of people have died. Thousands of people have been displaced. Kids have lost their families, their homes, and we have been showing you reports of layers of devastation. And the city, the country is trying to get back to normalcy, even with the hundreds of aftershocks which are being felt in the country even after the earthquake. But I'm going to show you that how people are and kids are living out of their cars, of their vehicles now, as they have lost their homes, and the rehabilitation centers, the hotels are overflowing. That is the magnitude of this tragedy. Right behind me are these kids who have nowhere else to go in chilly weather, in this harsh temperature in Turkey, and they are living out of this car. This is what you see behind me is the Gaziantep Castle, a historical site which was built in the Roman era. It was used as a watchtower. This was a historical site which was built more than 2,000 years ago with natural rocks, and even that has been damaged. As you can see, not just the new buildings, but a historical structure which was made in the Roman era, more than 2,000 years old, has also faced massive damage. And it's for the first time ever scientists are saying that such a monument has been destroyed, and by that you can make sense of the power of the earthquake that struck Turkey on Monday in the early hours. But this is to show you that how people have made their cars their makeshift home, as they have lost their houses in the earthquake that struck Turkey. I'm Tanushree Pandey reporting for NDTV from Ground Zero in Turkey.